go? You good, Bri? All right. Good morning, everybody. You are here for your magistrate or probable cause hearing. It's for me to determine whether there's probable cause to hold you. If, in fact, there's probable cause and it's a case that you are entitled to a bond, I will tell you what your bond is. If there's a situation where I think you might be able to go on pretrial, I'll let you know that also. There might be some cases that are misdemeanors. If they are, and there is a possibility of you pleading to them, I will also let you know that. If that is the case, possibly you can get out on those. So when I call your name, if you would step forward, I would appreciate it, and hopefully I can help you today. Rodolfo Guzman. Mr. Guzman, good morning, sir.
Morning, Judge Austin Sanders of the Public Defender.
Good morning, sir. Sir, you've been charged with battery, domestic violence. Battery, I find there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000. No contact with the victim.
Thank you, Judge. No objection.
You're welcome. Michael John Ferreira.
Medical reset.
That's a medical reset?
Your Honor, we were told that he was in North Broward. We called for him earlier.
Let me try and see if he's there.
Yeah, that's what they told me.
All right.
They didn't mention he was a medical.
Let me see if he's there. Michael Ferreira? Anybody in North Broward? Good morning.
Good morning.
Is Mr.
He's
Ferreira there?
No, he's not here. He's seeing the doctor at this time.
All right, can we maybe get him here this afternoon?
Yes.
Let's try, good. All right, let's reset to 1:30. Saul Torella Rodriguez? Mr. Rodriguez, good morning, sir. Sir, there is an out-of-state hold for you, no bond. Dominique Brown. Miss Brown, good morning. Miss Brown, you've been charged with disorderly intoxication. Counsel for the defense, does she want to resolve?
She does, Judge. Yes, she does.
All right, ma'am, raise your right hand.
All right.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Put your hand down, ma'am. Please tell me your name.
Dominique Brown.
Miss Brown, it's my understanding you want to change your plea from not guilty to no contest. Is that right?
Yes,
No contest.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do that?
No, ma'am.
Anybody promise you anything to get you to do that?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, are you under the influence of any alcohol or drugs so you don't understand what's going on here today?
No, ma'am, I'm not under there.
Understand if you're not a citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation.
I'm a U.S. citizen.
I find that it's a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver. Factual basis based on the probable cause affidavit. At this point in time, adjudication will be withheld. Court cost of prosecution will be imposed. I'll give you a year to pay. Ma'am, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Withhold. Angela Ann Amante.
North Broward. It's a municipal
Yeah,
ordinance
are they
case.
coming?
Yeah, they're.
Medical reset, Your Honor.
Oh, okay, thank you. Joanne Brown.
North Broward.
Also medical reset.
Shapuria Morton. Where's Miss Morton? Miss Martin.
Paul Ryan, Your Honor.
Thank you.
This is the case I provided the court with probable cause.
All right. Ms. Martin, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
It looks like there's a warrant out for your arrest.
I've been in custody since April 23rd.
Your Honor, this is an ad charge.
I got it. I find that there's probable cause. Counsel for the prosecution, argument reference to bond.
Your Honor, my understanding is Ms. Martin's being held no bond on the top count of burglary with a battery. I'd be requesting a $15,000 bond on this count. No victim contact's already been ordered.
Counsel for the defense.
Judge, that is correct. Ms. Martin does have a no bond hold. It's count 7. It's a violation of probation. That's how
All
I
right.
look at it.
I find that there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $15,000. Still no contact with the victim, ma'am.
You have a court date on June 19th, Ms. Martin.
Wanisha Grant.
Paul Ryan, Your
And I provided probable cause for this.
Chair.
Ms. Grant, good morning. Ma'am,
Good morning, how you doing?
this looks like a count 7 also. There's a warrant out for your arrest. I find there's probable cause. Counsel for the state, recommendation on bond.
Just seeking the standard bond to be kept in place.
Counsel for the defense.
Judge,
Hang on
Miss-
1 second, ma'am. Don't say anything, okay?
Ms. Grant has a $50,000 bond on count 2, which I don't believe she's gonna be able to post. I'd ask the court leave it at $1,000 and see how she can make out.
Bond is set in the amount of $1,000. Karina Murphy.
I just
Hang on
got
one second.
handed the
Hang on.
affidavit on this case.
You want me to wait?
Maybe recall it briefly.
Okay,
if
it
you
looks
could.
like counts 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are warrants. So it's just one count of ecstasy, if you want to take a quick.
Okay, in fact, maybe just give me 30 seconds.
Sure.
Or if you want to take Mr. Halpern's case.
It goes up to
Oh,
count, it goes up
It's
to count,
turn?
There's probably additional pieces.
Mr. Reedy, it goes up to count 30,
Yeah, I-
just so you know. So let me just sit tight and let you take a look real quick. It's okay.
Nicholas McCall, MCCA. Morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Jalen.
That's it.
Oh,
No, hang on, let me just finish with Mr. Reedy, and I'll be more than happy to take you folks.
here.
You need to wait, Mr. Jelen. There's 2 people ahead of you.
Judge, I've had a chance to review the affidavit.
All righty. At this point in time, I'm going to find probable cause in reference to count 1. It's an ROR. Count 2 is $1,000. Count 3 is an ROR. Count 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There are warrants out for your arrest. I find there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000 on 4, 5, 6, and 7. In reference to count 8, bond is set in the amount of $100. Mr. Halpern, Mr. Coffey, how can I help you, gentlemen?
That's it.
Yeah.
Did I miss them all? Did I miss the rest? I got it. Yep, I'm with you. In
I need her
reference,
back.
in reference, yeah, Miss Murphy, I need you back for 1 second. I'm sorry.
But you can tell me no bond.
All right, Miss Murphy, in reference to 9, 10, 11, and 12, and 13, it's 1,000 on each of those. In reference to, no, 12, in reference to 13, 14, 15, and 16, $500 on each one of those. On reference to 17, 18, 19, and 20, I'm going to ROR you on those. In reference to 21, there's an out-of-state hold, $7,500, 22 out-of-state hold, $500. Count 3 out-of-state hold, $2,000. Count 24, $2,000. In reference to 25 through 32, they're all out-of-state holds, $2,000 on 25. Out of county, I'm sorry. 2,000 on 26, 2,000, 27, 2,000, 28, 250, 29, 250, 30, 250, 31, 2,000, 32, 2,000. I find probable cause on everything. Mr. Coffey, how can I help you, sir? And good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Judge, I have Christopher and Lauren Kydes, Kydes.
I have Lauren right here. Christopher is the other one?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me see if I can,
Thank you.
let me see if I
Another
can,
one separate.
hang on, let me see.
Both felonies, Kydes.
Okay. Yep, I got that one. All right, I got it.
I have it.
All right, let me, Lauren Kydes. Where is she, folks? Okay. Good morning, ma'am. Mr. Coffey.
Yes, Judge. Judge, I've had a chance to review this. I was also provided documentation yesterday by an attorney indicating that there was a legitimate trust, a legitimate power of attorney, all prepared by a law firm that's not associated with either one of them. I did read the affidavit. I understand that, at least on paper, a lot of the investigation takes place months after the power of attorney was signed, after the will was signed, after the trusts were signed. So, I mean, I have legitimate witness, notarized by a law firm, that everything was done properly and correctly. So I would ask for a minimal bond on this case as well as for Mr. Kides. I would ask for a $10,000 bond.
Counsel for your state.
Your Honor, as the court has had an opportunity to review the affidavits, just because the power of attorney was, properly executed doesn't mean that it's not exploitation. And based on these allegations, it appears this is a clear-cut case of exploitation of this alleged victim, Your Honor. And I have a great concern based on these allegations. On Ms. Kides, I'm going to be asking for a bond of $25,000 and no victim contact.
Judge, these people, my clients, have known this woman for 15 years. I mean, this isn't a last-minute thing that happened where they allegedly took advantage. These are people who have known them for a very long time.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it seems like the victim is in decline, but that wasn't in effect at the time the power of attorney was signed.
Okay, at this point in time, bond is set in the amount of $15,000. I find probable cause. No contact with the victim until some of this can get cleared up, okay?
Understood, Judge.
All righty.
Are you going to make the same ruling on Mr. Kides as well?
Yes, but I think I need to probably get him
No
up
problem,
here.
Judge.
Christopher Kides.
He's right behind.
Your Honor, I would just ask to be heard for bond.
Absolutely. Mr. Kides.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
Good morning, sir. Your attorney's here. Mr. Coffey, one more time, sir.
Yes, on behalf of both Kides.
All right, there's 2 counts, though, in reference to him. You know that, right?
Yeah, I would still ask the same bond amount, just split it up.
All right.
And Your Honor, frankly, I think Mr. Kides' level of involvement is much greater than Ms. Kides. Your Honor, on count 1, I'm going to be asking for a bond amount, and these are both first-degree felonies. I'm going to be asking for a bond of $50,000 on count 1, $25,000 on count 2.
All right, I find there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $20,000 on count 1, $5,000 on count 2. No contact with the victim. You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, sir. Good to see you. Mr. Halpern, Mr. Jellin, can I help either one of you, sir? Sirs?
Page 30 is Nicholas McCall.
McCall? Let me just find it because I don't have the... That's okay. Hang on one second. Hang on one second, Mr. Jellin. I don't have the paperwork yet. All right, Mr. Jellin, I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead. Nicholas McCall.
Did you get a chance to review that PCO?
Hang on, yeah, but he's not here yet. Where's Mr. McCall? Good morning, Mr. McCall. Mr. Jellin, go ahead.
I just don't see any of the knowledge element being met on there.
On the grand theft?
Yeah.
Counsel for the state.
Your Honor, I think for probable cause purposes that he is in the sole and exclusive operation of a stolen motor vehicle that law enforcement has probable cause to make the arrest.
All right, at this point in time, the court finds that there's probable cause in reference to count 1. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000. In reference to 2, 3, and 4, it looks like there's a violation of community control. No bond. In reference to count 5, it's an ROR.
So, Nicholas, Judge Solomon here, even if she wanted to send you home today, she could not. She can't touch that 948 hold. That's for Judge Tobin Singer to deal with. You understand me? Nicholas?
He's there.
Nicholas, you understand me?
He can't, the mic's not, that's the
mic's
problem.
not on. Anybody down there?
All
right, listen.
Yeah, he's got it now. Go ahead.
Great. So,
you got to hold it.
Yeah. So, listen, this is a new accusation. You need to stay off the phones. We'll figure out what's going on. Judge Solomon here, even if she wants to send you home today, she can't. You understand me, Nicholas?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you got to be patient. We'll handle this. The bottom line is that you're stuck till we talk to Judge Tobin Singer, so stay off the phone. You understand me?
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Halpern, you let me know when you're ready. Catherine McElroy. Where's Miss McElroy?
I'm not here, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
All right, ma'am, you've been charged with criminal mischief, disorderly conduct, and a probation violation. I find that there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $500 on count 1, ROR on count 2. It's a no bond on count 3. Tiana Richards. Where's Miss Richards, folks? Thank you. Miss Richards, good morning.
Good morning.
Ma'am, you've been charged with neglect, child neglect without great bodily harm. I find that there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $10,000. No contact with the victim.
Judge, if I can address?
You can.
Judge, I believe that she doesn't have any priors, and I'm asking that you give her pretrial release in light of the fact of that. She's lived here for quite some time, and she can't make $10,000. At the most, she could make $3,000, but we would she'd be hard pressed for the $3,000. So I'm asking for pretrial release.
That'll be denied. Sabine Jean.
Okay, no.
Where is? All right, there she is. Okay, good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, you've been charged with grand theft. I find there's probable cause. Counsel for the state priors.
Your Honor.
Okay.
She no criminal history.
All right, pretrial? All right, I'm going to see if she qualifies for pretrial, okay?
Thank you, Judge. If it's just one thing, if you can make it pending pretrial in case someone
Absolutely.
bonds her up. Thank you.
Absolutely, pending pretrial. Not the bond's $1,000. You're welcome. Claudia Navis Garcia. Where's Miss Navis Garcia? Okay. Claudia Navis Garcia.
I believe her bond.
Bonded, Judge.
Thank you. Danielle Chevalier. Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, you've been charged with possession of fentanyl and loitering and prowling. Counsel for the state priors. Okay.
Does pretrial have anything?
Priors, pretrial.
Your Honor, in 2005, she was adjudicated in Volusia County for possession of marijuana and possession of paraphernalia. She violated her probation in 2005. In 2013, a grand theft out of Boynton Beach that appears to have been subsequently dropped. There was a driver with a suspended license in 2014. She felt so very in that case. Possession of heroin in 2016 was, she went through a pre-trial diversion program.
All right. I find there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000 on count 1, ROR on count 2. Francisco Cardenas. He bonded. Where's Mr. Cardenas? Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Sir, you've been charged with DUI. I find there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $500. Mr. Halpern, you ready? Okay.
I have Mr. Turin, Turin, on page 22 of the docket.
Okay. Mr. Turin, where are you, sir?
Right here, Your Honor.
President May.
All right, Mr. Turin, good morning. Mr. Halpern.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir.
So I'm not going to contest probable cause. I've read the affidavit. Just with respect to the charges, You know, I would ask the court to take note that the pornography that's indicated doesn't depict any actual sexual activity. It's just basically.
I had the opportunity to read the
Sure.
probable cause affidavit.
So I want you, I've got his mother, one of his mothers lives in New York, his fiance here in New York. Could you just accept the proffer this morning?
Of course I will.
So I just wanted you to know that Mr. Turin has no priors that I'm aware of. They're from New York. Mr. Turin suffers from Tourette's. He's got Asperger's syndrome, ADHD, and ulcerative colitis. Right now, he's not being medicated. I'm sure he is therapy, and I don't believe that the jail would give him proper therapy. His family was moved about 5 years ago from New York down here. His mother and his brother reside in Century Village. She has no assets. She lost her husband several years ago and ended up spending over $4 million on medical bills, and actually just had her house. She lost her everything, really. So she doesn't have any assets right now. The bond would come from friends and family that they would be trying to raise money to postpone. The defendant himself, because of these conditions I told you about, although he is on the right track, I think, with respect to from a psychological point of view, he's got a job, but it's not he works at Horses Market. So, for these reasons, I'm asking the court to set a bond that's commensurate with what the family can possibly pay. I know there's serious charges. I'm not disputing that. What I am suggesting to the court that
Dante Gosh?
because he's no arrest in his past, he's got an appearance, and I'm asking the court to set a bond that's not to exceed $20,000 total.
Okay, counsel for the state. Recommendation on bond.
Your Honor, based on the seriousness of the allegations, I'm going to be requesting on counts 2 through 12, $10,000 per count. I'm also going to be asking for additional release conditions, no contact with minors, and that he not be in possession of any devices with internet access until further notice.
That bond, Judge, is not something they could ever reasonably make.
Okay. In reference, the court that finds that there's probable cause, in reference to count 1, bond is set in the amount of $1,000. It's transmitting child pornography. In reference to count 2, compiling or entering a computer pornography, bond is set in the amount of $50,000. In reference to counts 3 through 8, which are promoting or possessing, depicting child sexual conduct, bond is set in the amount of $50,000 on each of those counts. If in fact bond can be made, no contact with minors, no computers, no cell phones, no contact with children or be within 500 feet of children. If he has any medical conditions, let's get him in front of a doctor. I'll be more than happy to sign an order so he can see a doctor.
Leave those kids alone.
Eduardo Ocampo. Wait, there's more counts. I'm sorry.
I think there's plenty of bond.
I don't have any more other than 8. Do I not have page? I got it. I'm sorry. In reference to 9 through 12, it'll be $50,000 on each one of those. Also, court finds there's probable.
Okay, I want to point out that based on the proffer you accepted, this is tantamount to no bond. This is a bondable offense. We object to the excessive nature of the bond based on all the arguments I made, and I'll leave it at that, Judge.
Good to see you, Mr. Halper. Eduardo Ocampo. Mr. Ocampo, good morning, sir. It looks like you have three warrants out for your arrest, which are misdemeanors, and then you have a violation of
Judge,
probation.
he needs a Spanish interpreter, he says.
Alrighty, let's put it on recall and get him an interpreter then, okay? She's not here yet. You're welcome. Michael Ricciardi?
Judge, would you be inclined to resolve?
Of course. No return, though.
Okay.
Does he want to do that?
Yes, Judge.
Raise your right hand. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Put your hand down. Please tell me your name.
Michael Riccardi.
Mr. Riccardi, it's my understanding you want to change your plea from not guilty to no contest. Is that right?
Right. Yeah.
Anybody
Yes,
forcing you to do that?
No.
Anybody promise you anything to get you to do that?
Anybody
You under the influence of any alcohol or drugs, so you don't understand what's going on here today?
No, ma'am.
Understand if you're not a citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation.
No, I'm a U.S. citizen here.
I find that it's a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver, factual basis based on the probable cause affidavit. Counsel for the defense, I'm not sure what that municipal ordinance is, so I'm going to just ROR him on it, because I just don't even know if it's criminal, okay? So I don't want him to plead to anything. In reference to count one, adjudication will be withheld.
Judge, as to the misdemeanor?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Judge.
May I ask the friend of court only to save possibly an inconvenience of Mr. Ricciardi coming back to court? It appears it's a public intoxication.
Is it a public? I'll do
appears.
both of them then if you want. Counsel for the defense, do you have any problem with me doing that?
No, Judge.
All right. Adjudication will be withheld on counts 1 and 2. In reference to count 1, cost of prosecution will be imposed. In reference to count 2, it'll be $25. No return to that area, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to give you a year to pay. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. To Soam Dawes. Good morning, sir. Sir, you've been charged with assault, disorderly conduct, and resisting. This is your magistrate hearing. I find probable cause. Counsel for the defense, does he want to resolve?
You want to resolve it?
As far as the charges, yes, I would love to resolve it, sir.
Raise your right hand. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Put your hand down, sir. Please tell me your name.
Tashone Dawes.
Mr. Dawes, it's my understanding you want to change your plea from not guilty to no contest. Is that right?
That's correct.
Anybody forcing you to do that?
No, ma'am.
Anybody promise you anything to get you to do that?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol or drugs so you don't understand what's going on here today?
No, ma'am.
Understand if you're not a citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation.
I understand.
I find that it's a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver, factual basis based on the probable cause affidavit. At this point in time, in reference to counts 1, 2, and 3, adjudication will be withheld. Cost of prosecution will be imposed. I'm going to give you a year to pay, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your
You're
Honor.
welcome. Daryl Keith.
Do I get bond today?
You're going to be out today, unless you have something else holding you.
Nothing, ma'am. Just thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Daryl Keith Lounge. That looks like it's a municipal ordinance. You sure they're going to show?
Yes.
All right, let me put that on recall then. All right. Javille Washington. Where's Mr. Washington?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Sir, you've been charged with 2 counts of petty theft, receiving property obtained by fraud with counts 3 and 4. I find that there's probable cause. Counsel for the defense?
Judge, would you be inclined to ROR him or give him pretrial release?
I'd be inclined to resolve it, too, if he wants. They're all misdemeanors.
Judge, he wants to resolve the cases. I asked, he is a U.S. citizen, and I advised him that the third would be a felony if he obtained
Great,
one.
which is what I was just going to tell him. Raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Put your hand down and tell me your name.
JaVale Washington.
Mr. Washington, it's my understanding you want to change your plea from not guilty to no contest. Is that right?
Yes, no contest.
Anybody forcing you to do that?
No, ma'am.
Anybody promise you anything to get you to do that?
No, ma'am.
Sir, are you under the influence of any alcohol or drugs so you don't understand what's going on here today?
No, ma'am.
Understand if you're not a citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation.
Yes.
I find that it's a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver. Factual basis based on the probable cause affidavit. In reference to counts 1, 2, 3, and 4, adjudication will be withheld. Cost of prosecution will be imposed. I'll give you a year to pay. You can't go back to that gas station. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck to you. Brashawn Jackson. Mr. Jackson, this is a municipal ordinance. Let me just wait for your lawyer, okay? Let's put it on recall. Jared Hayes. Mr. Hayes, good morning. Sir, there are two warrants out for your arrest. I'm going to find that there's probable cause. Counsel for the defense, let me just take a look at his driving record, and why don't you ask him if he wants to resolve?
Sure.
What does he want to do?
Judge, he'd like to fight these cases in court.
All right.
Would you be inclined to give him pretrial release or ROR him?
Nope. Bond is set in the amount of $500 on count 1, $600 on count 2.
Okay.
It's 500
It says
on both.
6, yeah. Or is that a 5?
5.
5 on both, then. Looks like a 6 to me. Yeah. All right. Carly Rubinsky? Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Sir, you've been charged with DUI, a third offense over 10 years, refusing to submit, driving while your license is suspended, and a couple of infractions. I find there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000 on count 1, $100 on count 2. Michael Hinch. That's a municipal. I'm going to put that on recall. Clint Judy. Clint Judy. I'm going to put Mr. Hinch on recall since the city attorney's not here. Mr. Judy, good morning. Sir, this looks like it's a third count, creating or possessing fictitious personal information. I find that there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000. Stephen Sirax. Mr. Sirax, good morning, sir. This is count 7 and 8, grand theft on both. I find that there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000 on each.
Judge, you just inquired if these are ad charges.
They are, 7 and 8. Terrence Turpin.
Conti?
Mr. Turpin, good morning. Sir, this is an ad charge also. It's a warrant out for a felony. I find there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Berkeley Knowns. Berkeley Knowns. Good morning, sir. So these are counts 8
Good morning, Your Honor.
These are counts 8 and 9. Burglary on count 8. Grand theft on count 9. I find there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $2,500 on count 8. $1,000 on count 9. Philmon Mawat.
You hear what she said up there?
Judge, he didn't hear what you said, Judge.
It's counts 8 and 9. Find probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $2,500 on 8. $1,000 on 9.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Philmon Mawat. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, this is you've been charged with petty theft. It's a third offense, so it's a felony. I find that there's probable cause. Madam pretrial prior, other than the petty theft.
I can tell you he was arrested last month for a theft at the same location and pleaded out at first appearance.
Is that all we have?
We have a lot.
We have a lot? All right, bond is set in the amount of $750.
Judge, if I can?
Sure.
He's a 20 to 30-year resident, at least 20-year resident of South Florida. He says he could reside with his brother Martin, and he can't make a monetary bond, and so we're asking that you grant him pretrial release and allow him to be released to the residence of his brother.
Pretrial? State.
In light of the allegations in this case, I have no objection, Your Honor.
All right. As long as he qualifies for pretrial, I'll put him on pretrial. If you get out, no return to that Walmart. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, you said as long as he qualified.
Right. So make sure I want you to make sure that he really does have a place to live.
So we're going to do pending verification.
Pending verification.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Moore.
And Judge, I have a phone number if I can relay that. You want me to call Mr. Reedy?
Sure.
Great.
David Pickett.
Mr. Pickett's in North Broward, Your Honor.
Mr. Pickett, good morning, sir. Sir, you've been charged with robbery by sudden snatching without a firearm or weapon. I find there's probable cause.
Your Honor, the defendant was placed on pretrial supervision on June 6th in case 18-6750 CF10A, 1 count of possession of cocaine, 1 count of possession of paraphernalia. Based on this court's finding of probable cause, we're going to ask that his pretrial status be revoked at this time.
That'll be granted. And in reference to this, bond is set in the amount of $5,000.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask the court to sign a photo order.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Pickett indicated to me that he would like to get into the SAP program while he's in custody.
I'll be more than happy to sign that order also.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. David Diaz.
No further, Your Honor.
Mr. Diaz, good morning, sir. You've been charged with driving under the influence, the third offense within 10 years. I find there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $2,500. Rodney Bell. Mr. Bell, where's Mr. Bell?
Just a medical reset.
Okay. Stanley Wilson. Where's Mr. Wilson, folks?
Approaching, Judge.
Okay,
He has
thank
a
you.
U.S. Marshal hold.
All right. Mr. Wilson, good morning. Sir, you have a sex offender violation, failure to report, counts 1 and 2, and a marshal hold. I find that there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000 on count 1 and 2. No bond on count 3. Jorge Moya.
Okay.
Where's Mr. Moya?
We're trying to figure it out.
Okay.
What's your name?
Approaching, Judge.
Mr. Moyer, good morning, sir. You've been charged with petty theft. It's a third or subsequent offense. I find there's probable cause. Madam Pretrial.
2005 possession of cocaine adjudicated. 2005 an additional charge of possession of cocaine. DUI in 2007. DUI in 2008. 2011 an adjudication for a burglary structure. 2013 theft adjudication. Another theft adjudication in 2013. End of record.
Counsel for State.
Your Honor, based on the history, I'd be requesting that the court keep the standard bond in place.
All right, bond is set in the amount of $750.
Judge, if I could be heard?
Sure.
He's a 20-year resident of South Florida. He lost his job about a month ago. He was a clerical assistant, and I guess they lost an account. Currently, he can stay with his mother, and he's has been going to the Hack and a few other places. but we're asking that he be given pretrial release. I didn't hear all the priors, but he tells me he doesn't have a lot, and he can't make a monetary bond, so he's going to sit in there. So we're asking that you find that the presumption for non-monetary in this instance, and let him go to pretrial to his mother's.
That'll be denied. Eduardo Ocampo, the interpreter's here. Good morning, Mr. Interpreter. Mr. Ocampo, good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, you've been charged with, it looks like there are 2 traffic warrants. It looks like there's 1 misdemeanor warrant.
Dos órdenes de detención por motivo de tránsito, hay una por una contravención.
And it looks like there's a violation of probation,
Parece que hay una violación
misdemeanor
de libertad condicional,
warrant out of the satellite.
Por una contravención en uno de los tribunales satélite.
I find that there's probable cause.
Considero que existen indicios probables de delito.
Counsel for the defense, if he wants to resolve, I'll give him 15 days in the Broward County Jail, revoke his probation.
Okay. How much time?
15.
15 days?
Yep.
Si el señor desea aceptar un acuerdo, le asignaría 15 días en la cárcel del condado de Broward. Le revocaría la libertad condicional, si desea resolver el caso.
Do you want to close the case for 15 days?
All of them.
All cases.
A cambio de 15 días en la
15
cárcel.
days? Or here, leave?
After 15 days, you'd leave.
Okay.
He says yes, Judge.
Raise your right hand.
Levante su mano derecha.
Judge, what are the offenses? I don't know what page we're on.
Oh, I don't have it by page, but I can tell you the offenses.
It's on page 13.
Página 13.
13? Let me just inquire about U.S. citizenship, okay?
Sure, absolutely.
Voy a preguntarle sobre ciudadanía americana.
Judge, the theft is going to be a deportable offense to him.
Tengo mi mujer, tengo mis hijos aquí.
Okay.
Tengo familia.
Señora juez, el hurto va a ser sería un delito susceptible de deportación.
Counsel, if he wants to, if he wants to resolve everything else, I'll give him 15 days and I'll ROR him on the petty theft if you want.
That would be great, Judge.
Let's do that. Raise your right hand, sir.
Levante su mano derecha, señor.
Raise your right hand.
Levante su mano derecha.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Jura o afirma solemnemente decir la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad, así le ayude Dios.
You got to answer me, okay?
Tiene que contestar en voz alta.
Sí.
Yes.
Put your hand down and please tell me your name.
Baje la mano, dígame su nombre.
Eduardo Ortega.
Is it Ortega Ocampo?
Ortega Ocampo. Yes.
Okay.
Eduardo Ortega Campo.
It's my understanding, sir, you want to change your plea from not guilty to no contest to the traffic offenses and the violation of probation, but not the petty theft. Is that correct?
Tengo entendido que usted desea cambiar su declaratoria de no culpable a no me opongo a los cargos para las dos infracciones de tránsito, la contravención, pero no para el hurto menor, ¿correcto?
¿Se me lo puede repetir? Repeat.
He needs to repeat it. He doesn't understand.
Sure. You're going to plead no contest to the violation of probation.
Usted va a declarar que no se opone al delito de violar la libertad condicional.
And the two traffic offenses.
Y las dos infracciones de tránsito.
And I'm going to ROR you on the petty theft. Is that correct?
Y en cuanto al cargo de hurto menor, voy a dejarlo libre bajo palabra. ¿Es correcto?
Sí.
Sí.
Yes.
Anybody forcing you to do that?
¿Alguna persona le está obligando a hacer eso?
No.
Anybody promise anything to get you to do that?
¿Alguna persona le prometió algo a cambio de hacer eso?
No.
No.
Sir, are you under the influence of any alcohol or drugs, so you don't understand what's going on here today?
Señor, ¿usted se encuentra bajo la influencia de alcohol o algún medicamento de forma que no entendiera lo que está sucediendo aquí hoy?
No, estoy bien, bien. Nomás que no lo escucho bien. No lo escucho bien lo que usted me está diciendo a mí.
No, I'm fine. I just can't really hear what you're saying to me very well.
All right. Understand, if you are not a citizen, these pleas could subject you to deportation.
Entienda que si usted no fuera ciudadano de los Estados Unidos, usted se expondría a ser deportado mediante este acuerdo.
You understand?
¿Entiende?
Claro.
Only this one's the problem. Solamente eso vas a regresar a la corte. Pero los otros está bien.
¿Y no se puede hacer una fianza para limpiar todo? ¿Una fianza para limpiar todo?
And can't there be bail to clean everything up?
Well, there can be, but if you want to plead no contest and just take care of them, I'll do that.
Puede haberlo, pero si usted desea simplemente decir que no se opone a los cargos y resolver el caso así, yo puedo hacer eso.
So you don't have to come back on them.
Me gustaría un arreglo para limpiar todo y ya no regresar a la corte.
An arrangement to clean everything up and not have to come back to court.
Is that what you want to do?
I think in the abundance of caution, if we can leave the ROR in place.
Absolutely.
Creo que simplemente por un tema de cautela mejor dejar el libre bajo palabra para el delito ese específico.
Is that what you want to do? You're just going to plead to the traffic stuff and come back on the petty theft?
¿Es eso lo que desea hacer, simplemente declararse con respecto a las infracciones de tránsito y regresar para únicamente el hurto menor?
Yes.
I find that it's a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver.
Considero que esta renuncia de derechos se ha hecho de manera libre, voluntaria y con conocimiento de causa.
Factual basis based on the driving record and the tickets.
Existe base fáctica con base en el expediente de manejo y las infracciones.
In reference to the warrant, I find that it's a willful, substantial, and material violation.
Con respecto a la orden de detención por violación de libertad condicional, considero que la violación fue material, dolosa y sustancial.
In reference to count 1 and 2, adjudication will be withheld.
Para el primer y segundo cargo, fallo sin condena.
Court cost of prosecution will be imposed.
Costas judiciales, costas de la fiscalía.
I'm going to ROR you on the petty theft.
Queda libre bajo palabra.
So you're going to get a new court date on that.
Y para ese delito le van a dar una nueva fecha
In
para
comparecer. In reference to the violation of probation.
Con respecto a la violación de la libertad condicional.
I'm going to revoke your probation.
Voy a revocar su probatoria.
Adjudicate you guilty.
Y ponerle una condena.
Sentence you to 15 days in the Broward County Jail.
Sentenciarlo a 15 días en la cárcel del condado de Broward.
Credit for whatever time you have.
Se le acreditaría el tiempo que ya haya descontado.
And all costs will be converted over to a civil lien.
Y todas las costas se convertirían en un gravamen civil.
Sir, good luck to you.
Buena suerte, señor.
One thing, Judge, can we make sure his address is right for the
Una cosa, señora juez, podemos asegurarnos de que su dirección sea la correcta.
4244.
4244.
Western Road.
¿Qué road?
Western Road.
Western
Road.
Western Road.
Spell it.
Western. K-U-L-F-S.
Gulfstream Road.
Lake Court. West Palm Beach.
Lake Courts, West Palm Beach.
Apartment?
No, house.
All righty, sir. Good luck to you, okay?
Bien, buena suerte, señor.
Ashton Humes. Mr. Interpreter, thank you so much for your, I don't know. You want to make an announcement after I take care? Hang on, Mr. McLawrence.
Sure. ¿Alguien más necesita interpretación en español?
Jose Rodriguez. There seems to be a person
Come
here
on
in the
up,
main jail,
sir.
Judge Jose Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez, come on up, okay?
Pase, señor Rodríguez.
Okay.
Mr. Rodriguez, good morning.
Buenos días, señor Rodríguez.
Sir, you've been charged with uttering a forged or false instrument.
A usted se le acusa de utilización de un documento falso.
I find there's probable cause.
Considero que existen indicios probables de delito.
Madam, pretrial priors.
¿Tiene medidas cautelares o antecedentes?
Okay. I'm checking that right here. Your Honor, I'm showing a DWS from last year.
Su señoría parece que el año pasado fue detenido por conducir con la licencia suspendida.
Boarding or prowling 2011.
También fue acusado de merodear en el 2011.
In 2012, two separate cases of dealing in stolen property and false ownership info on a pawn item.
En el 2012, dos casos de propiedad falsa y traficar en bienes robados.
In those cases, he was sentenced to 4 years in state prison as a habitual offender.
Y en esos casos fue sentenciado a 4 años en la prisión estatal como delincuente habitual.
Theft in 2012.
Hurto en el 2012.
Burglary of a conveyance 2011, VOP, 4-year state prison.
Hurto de un vehículo 2011 fue una violación de la libertad condicional, 4 años de prisión.
And he's had a couple other theft offenses prior to that.
Y tiene un par de hurtos más.
Counsel for the state, thoughts on pretrial.
Fiscalía, medidas cautelares.
Your Honor, based on his criminal history and prior classification as a habitual offender, I'm requesting that the $1,000 bond be kept in place.
Su señoría, con base en su historial penal y sus antecedentes, voy a solicitar que la fianza de $1,000 sea mantenida.
Counsel for the defense, you want to be heard?
Defensa.
Can you afford a $1,000 bond?
¿Usted puede pagar una fianza de $1,000?
I receive check every month. Okay. So someone posts for you? Maybe. Okay.
Bien, entonces
maybe.
Okay. I find there's probable cause bond is set in the amount of $1,000.
Considero que existe causa indicios probables de delito que ha fijado la fianza en $1,000.
Thank you, Mr. Interpreter. Have a wonderful day, okay? Mr. McLawrence, are you there?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good
How are you?
morning, sir. I'm well. Here's the ones I have so far. Michael Hinch.
No, that's not mine, Your Honor. I have Darrell Lounge. He's on page 14 of the docket. He's here in the main jail.
All righty, I've got it.
Judge, let's recall Mr. Lounge. He's sleeping.
All right.
I also have Brashawn Jackson. He's on page 16 of the docket.
I know that someone was set for a medical reset. Let me just make sure it wasn't.
It might have been Angela Monti over at North Broward.
Yes, she was.
So who do you have?
This is Brashawn Jackson, Judge. He's on page 16 of the docket.
Let me see if I can find it. Yes, I have it. All right. Mr. Jackson, you have 3 warrants out for your arrest. They are all municipal ordinances. I find there's probable cause. It's engaged in fighting, possession of a controlled substance, and resisting. Mr. McLawrence, if he wants to resolve, I'll withhold $100 on each.
Yes, Judge. But before that, Your Honor, I want to let the court know that Mr. Jackson was offered the city's diversion program.
Okay.
He's 19 years old. He actually came to court. He just came to court on the wrong day.
Okay.
And there was a warrant issued. And he has a valid address. The address that the court sees on the record is his valid address. So he received notice. He just came on the wrong day. Judge, I was going to ask if the court could release him on his own recognizance. He just graduated from high school, so that he could have an opportunity to go ahead and do the diversion program and get this off his record.
Absolutely. I'm going to find that there's probable cause in reference to count 1. He's going to be RO'd, count 2 RO'd, count 3 RO'd. You need to go to court, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Have a good day.
He has my information, Judge. I instructed him to stay in touch with me so I could let him know of his future court dates.
Okey doke, Mr. McLawrence, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Ashton Humes.
Judge, I have
Go ahead.
I have Darrell Lounge.
All right, Mr. Lounge, where are you?
He's right here, Judge. He's a little unsteady on his feet, but he's making his way to the podium.
All right. Sir, there's a warrant out for your arrest. It's in the amount of $50. I find that there's probable cause. It is for panhandling.
Yes, Judge.
Does he want to resolve?
Yes, he does want to resolve.
All right, raise your right hand.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand, sir.
Raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes or no?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, put your hand down and tell me your name.
Tell her your name.
Darrell Lounge.
Mr. Lounge, you want to plead no contest to this?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do that?
No, ma'am.
Anybody promise you anything to get you to do that?
I can't.
Did anybody promise you to do anything to get you to do that?
No.
All right, are you under the influence of any alcohol or drugs so you don't understand what's going on here?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand me?
The judge asked you, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol right now?
No, ma'am.
All right. I find that it's a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver, factual basis based on the notice to appear and probable cause affidavit. At this point in time, I'm going to withhold adjudication, take judicial notice that you've been in jail overnight. Mr. Lounge, do you have someplace to live?
No, ma'am.
All right, I think maybe when you get out, you should go to the Salvation Army, okay?
No, ma'am. I rather just.
Wait, she was making a suggestion that when you get out, you should go to the Salvation Army. That's all she said.
You got to quit doing this, okay? They're going to keep picking you up. You got to quit it.
I can't hear.
Mr. McLawrence, you can tell him.
Yes, Judge. She said that you got to quit doing this. They're going to keep picking you up.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty, you take care of yourself, okay?
So take care of yourself.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Take
You're
care.
welcome.
Jara, wait a second. While we have
Yes.
Mr. McLawrence here, if we could call a case at a turn, it's
Sure.
not a felony case, but I think indirectly it may involve Mr.
Tell me.
McLawrence's
What page?
representation. Van Starr.
Thomas Ingram.
What's the last name?
Starr. S-A-S-T-A-R-R-R.
There are 4 R's? I got it. Van Arthur Starr. I got it. Where is Van Arthur Starr? There he is. All right. Folks, I need both of you there. Mr. Starr, you've been charged with arson and criminal mischief. This is your arraignment. I find that there's probable cause. Counsel for the state.
Your Honor, before the state, the defendant is currently being supervised by pretrial services. He was placed on pretrial release this
Monday.
week. Yeah. For a battery, case 18-5355 MO10. Based on this court's finding of probable cause, we're going to act on his pretrial status be revoked on that battery case.
Mr. McLawrence, that one was probably yours.
It was.
Yes, Judge, it is.
All right, motion to revoke bond will be granted.
There you go, Your Honor.
And then there's an arson and a criminal mischief. I find there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $10,000 on count 1, $500 on count 2.
And, Your Honor, I would just ask for an additional release condition of no return to this listed property in Wilton Manor.
Right, if you can make bond, you can't go back to that property. Do you understand?
How much is my bond?
$10,000 on count 1, $500 on count 2, and they revoked your pretrial, so it's no bond on the misdemeanor.
Thank you.
You're gonna have to get back. You're gonna have to get back in front of your judge, and you can probably do that by Monday.
If I can be heard as to the newest
Of
offenses.
course you can.
Judge, he says he was working landscape most recently, and he can reside with Eric Oates. I have an address that I can give to pretrial, and I'm asking that he be given pretrial level 2 in light of the situation. He says he can't make a monetary bond, and the pretrial house arrest would ameliorate a lot of the concerns for everybody, and that, of course, would be after he would have the no bond resolved for the battery.
Counsel for the state.
Your Honor, based on the allegations that he set fire to the business, I think the bond of consent is appropriate.
Your motion will be denied. Ashton Humes. Mr. Humes, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Sir, you've been charged with possession of cannabis. It looks like
I got to talk to her.
Hang on, listen to me first, okay? And then I'll listen to whatever you have to say, okay?
All right, ma'am.
Alrighty, so you've been charged with possession of cannabis, count 1. It looks like there's a violation of community control and a violation of probation. I find that there's probable cause. Bond is set in the... Do you want to resolve the... Well, I don't think you probably should. In reference to count
Judge.
1, I'm going to ROR him on count 1, which is the $100 on the misdemeanor, and it's no bond on count 2 and 3. Sir, did you want to talk to me?
How much charge I got?
It's just you're going to be held violation, but also you have a cannabis, misdemeanor cannabis.
And they ROR me?
I did.
Count, but you're going to have to resolve the violation. You have to talk to Judge Bailey.
Okay.
You have a court date, June 19th.
June 19th, you're going to go see Bailey.
June 19th, so I can talk to her?
If you want to, but I recommend not saying anything about the facts, okay?
All right. Hey, Your Honor, I was homeless the day I got caught with the weed.
Oh, that's one way to not talk about the facts of the case.
That's how I violated.
Okay, but I award you on that case. Just don't say anything else, okay? Go talk to Judge Bailey, but just don't say anything else. Donnie Bradley. Mr. Bradley, good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Sir, you've been charged with grand theft. I find that there's probable cause pretrial. Okay.
2001, driving with a suspended license. Leaving the scene of an accident adjudicated. Violation of probation in 2002 and 2003 enterprise.
Counsel for State?
Your Honor, based on the amount of time since his last prior, I don't have an objection to pretrial.
All right, let's put you on pretrial pending verification, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
You're
he
welcome.
also has high blood pressure, and he's concerned about that, so
All
we
right,
appreciate that.
if he can't get out today, let's make sure he gets to the doctor, okay?
Yes.
All righty. Derek Lee Williams. Mr. Williams, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Judge.
Sir, it looks like you've been charged with possession with intent to sell or manufacture of cannabis, and it looks like there's is that a capias? A grand theft auto capias. I find that there's probable cause. It's an
arrest warrant.
Oh, okay. Counsel for the state in reference to bond.
Your Honor, I'd be requesting a $1,000 bond on the grand theft auto.
All right. Court finds there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000 on count 1, $1,000 on count 2.
I have a question, Judge.
Okay.
They took all my money. I cannot get that back, right?
What? You can get...
They took my money.
I'm hoping they took your money and put it in property, right?
They said, I forgot, they said they seized it, so I have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
So
It might be in evidence.
Civil forfeiture that you're going to have to deal with, and contact them to see if they'll release it. But that's a separate civil case.
Okay, so how do I go about
You're going to
doing
talk to your lawyer about that, okay?
that? Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Have a good day, all right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Junior Williams. Come on up here, folks.
Hey, you gonna call me when you want these ladies walked over there?
Mr. Williams, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Sir, you've been charged with possession with intent to sell or manufacture cannabis and 2 counts of violation of probation. I find there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000 on count 1. The 2 counts of violation of probation are no bonds. Garfield Gray.
I don't know, does he have family here?
I thought so, but I guess they were here on the other case.
Oh, on the other case, okay. All right,
Garfield Gray. Mr. Gray, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, you've been charged with possession with intent to sell or manufacture cannabis, possession with intent to sell or manufacture cocaine, and a probation violation. I find there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000 on count 1, $2,500 on count 2, no bond on count 3. Demerick Brown. Mr. Brown, good morning. Good morning, sir. Sir, you've been charged with grand theft. I find there's probable cause. Madam, pretrial priors.
Yes.
Hang on one second. Done? I'm going to put him on pretrial. All right,
Sure,
pending verification.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Your mom's number, you need, want to give your mom's number to her?
Merrick Brown.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, Judge, he's being ad charged.
This is an ad charge?
No, he's getting an ad charge.
Oh.
Ad charge after court, so I don't know if he still wants to accept pretrial. He's not gonna get out.
It looks like there's an ad charge.
Well, you did a penny verification, so he can either still bond out.
Right,
if
he can
wants
bond out
to,
if he
or-
wants. Marcus Rozier.
Yes.
Come on.
Good morning. Mr. Rozier, good morning. Sir, you've been charged with grand theft, driving while your license is suspended, providing a false affidavit about your driver's license, and failing to comply with registration laws. I find that there's probable cause. Counsel for the state, recommendation on count 4.
Your Honor, Mr. Rozier, I'm going to be requesting a $15,000 bond. Mr. Rozier has gone to prison twice in the past for failing to register.
Counsel for the defense.
Judge, he's homeless, and so he can't make a monetary bond. He says he may be able to live with his aunt, but at this point, he's not going to be able to make a bond. So he's going to be in custody.
All right. In reference to count 1, bond is set in the amount of $1,000. I'm going to ROR him on counts 2 and 3. In reference to count 4, bond is set in the amount of $10,000.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Dante Gosha? Mr. Gosha, good morning, sir. Sir, you've been charged with fleeing and eluding, driving while your license is suspended. There's a misdemeanor warrant out for your arrest, grand theft auto, and petty theft. I find that there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $2,500. Bless you. $2,500 in count 1, $100 in count 2, $250 in count 3, $1,000 in count 4, and $100 in count 5.
Judge, would you be inclined for pretrial release? He's lived in Miami his entire life in South Florida, and he can reside with his mother.
Judge, he was ad charged. He's actually gonna come back to see the magistrate. Burglary, robbery, and another.
That'll be denied. Ronaldo Jean. We're going to probably see, there's an ad charge maybe this afternoon or tomorrow. So at this point,
Understood.
Ronaldo Jean. Mr. Jean, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Jean. Sir, you've been charged with grand theft, obtaining property by communication over $300 by fraud, and dealing in stolen property. I find there's probable cause priors. State? Okay.
Brown, you're done.
Your Honor, I'm requesting that the bonds be kept in place. Additionally, there was a previous pickup order issued as a juvenile for failure to appear in court.
Okay. Bond is, counsel for the defense, you want to be heard?
I wanted to ask if you consider pretrial release, since this is a first adult offense, understanding that that pending verification.
Bond is set, find probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000, count 1, $750, count 2, $1,000, count 3.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Thomas Ingram. Thomas Ingram. Mr. Ingram, good morning, sir.
How you doing?
Good. You've been charged with robbery without a firearm or weapon. Counsel for the defense? Counsel for the defense.
Sorry, Judge, I hadn't had a chance to talk to him earlier.
All right, I just want you to take a look at the probable cause affidavit, or counsel for the state. You got something you want to say?
Your Honor, I think, under the case law, it can be considered a strong arm robbery considering the property was still in his possession. But certainly, I think for bond purposes, and that's something I took, and I understand where the court's coming from, that's something I took into consideration when I was going to be making a bond recommendation, should the court find probable cause.
All right, I find that there's probable cause. Counsel for the state.
Your Honor, I was going to be requesting a $2,500 bond, and that's mainly because Mr. Ingram is out right now on a grand theft.
Okay. All right, I find that there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,500.
Thank you, Judge.
Erinson Tavares. Mr. Tavares, good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Sir, you've been charged with resisting arrest without violence and 2 felony warrants. I find there's probable cause. In reference to the resisting without violence, I'm going to ROR you on that. It's no bonds on counts 2 and 3.
Can I request explain to her that I received this?
Judge, he's saying that he received the notice for the court hearing on the day of the hearing itself.
On the very day. 3 hours after it.
Well, let's get you in front of that felony judge as soon as we can. I ROR you on the misdemeanor case. Romeo Carty. Mr. Carty, good morning. Sir, you've been charged with petty theft, illegal use of a credit card, it looks like, fraudulent use of ID without the consent of someone else, and exposure of sexual organs, count 4 and 5. I find that there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $25 on count 1, $1,000 on count 2, $3,500 on count 3, $100 on count 4, and $2,500 on count 5.
Judge, he's saying he can't make a monetary bond if you could consider pretrial release.
Yeah, I can pay it when I get out, Judge, because I got to be on the street so I can, you know.
Motion for pretrial will be denied. Sir Brian McLaughlin. Sorry. Mr. McLaughlin, good morning. Sir, you've been charged with selling cocaine within 1,000 feet of a school.
I didn't hear you, ma'am.
All right, I find that there's probable cause. Madam Pretrial?
Is that 17 case still open, sir?
I'll check that.
Hang on 1 second, sir.
While the state is checking on what could be an open case, there's a 2017, I show he failed to appear on 5 different occasions on a theft charge. Possession of cocaine in 2017 also, as well as corrupt by threat public servant. Any of those open? 2015 stalking, that was eventually dropped. Dealing in stolen property in 1999, an adjudication. Burglary, dwelling adjudication. He was sentenced to Florida State Prison.
All right. I find that there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $7,500.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Larry Kuntz. Good morning, sir. Sir, you've been charged with obtaining property over $5,000 by fraud. I find that there's probable cause. Counsel for the state, recommendation on bond?
Your Honor, I'm going to be asking that the standard bond be kept in place. This is a filed case. It doesn't indicate it on the booking sheet, but it has been filed. As you can see from the probable cause affidavit, this does involve a significant amount of monetary amount with the workers' compensation fraud.
Counsel for the defense, any argument?
Yes, Judge. He says he can't make a monetary bond. He could live with his mother, but he's a 45-year resident and lived 13 years with his mother. I ask that you take in consideration his long and standing ties to the community, and that he's not a flight risk based on that, and that's what a monetary bond is for, not safety of the community, but a flight risk. So if you would be inclined to pretrial release in some form.
All right. Madam Pretrial?
Based on the charge, we're not making any recommendations.
I want to know about priors. I'm sorry, that was my question.
Sorry,
I have that if you.
okay, go ahead, Aaron.
Your Honor, he has felony theft 08, theft 07, aggravated fleeing and eluding 05, 3-year state prison as a habitual offender, loading and prowling 04, loading and prowling 04, burglary of a structure 01, 29-month state prison as habitual offender, felony theft 04, grand theft 01, VOP 29.5 months, dealing with stolen property, escape, goes on from there.
Okay. I find this.
And Judge,
Go
he
ahead.
just wanted me to relay that he's had 13 years and he's been out of prison and has had a good record. Same job, and wanted you to know that.
All righty. I find there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $15,000. Marlon O'Maro Brown. Mr. Brown, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, you've been charged with grand theft, use of an anti-shoplifting control device countermeasure, and 2 counts of violation of probation or community control. I find there's probable cause. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000 on count 1, $1,000 on count 2. No bond, count 3 and 4.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
He has a question, Judge.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I got it answered, Judge.
Okay, good. Dadalyn Isma.
North Broward.
Good morning, sir. Sir, you've been charged with sexual battery with a victim over 12, physical force, no damage. I find there's probable cause. Counsel for the state recommendation.
Well, Your Honor, I'm just so the court's aware, I'm providing the court with the original arrest warrant. This is a change of charge down file from assault with a weapon. He was being held no bond.
All right, hang on, give me 1 sec, okay?
Of course.
Unfortunately, he's still being held no bond.
Just give me 1 sec, let me read,
on
okay?
count 3.
Right, I'm only here on count 2.
Yeah, just to advise the court, we did file the kidnapping as charged as being held no bond on that.
Okay.
I'd be requesting a $50,000 bond on this hearing.
All right, counsel for the defense.
Judge, as I explained to Mr. Isma, there's nothing the court can do about the no bond hold on count 3. He's going to have to go in front of his division judge to get that resolved. So whatever bond the court imposes is basically...
Bond is set in the amount of $25,000 on count 2. Michael Riley. Michael Riley.
Downtown court,
Downtown court, Your Honor.
Where's Mr. Riley?
courtroom 7.
Courtroom 70.
Okay, so what's your...
78.
So reset? Thank you. Doug Lewis. Where's Mr. Lewis? Tomorrow on Mr. Lewis? Or was that on the other gentleman I just handled? Where's Mr. Lewis?
Mr. Lewis is already at court downtown, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll reset this also, I guess? Yes, sir. All righty. Gennady Pappas Maydov, good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Sir, you have been charged, well, there are 2 warrants out for your arrest. Burglary of a unoccupied structure and burglary of an unoccupied conveyance. Counsel for the state?
Your Honor, these are change of charge.
There was a change of charge.
All right, give me a second, sir. Go ahead.
These are change of charges. Originally, they were burglary structure conveyance across county lines. Bonds were originally set at $7,500 and $2,500. I'm going to request that those be placed back on him, and with all the other original conditions. He's got, from what I can tell, he has significant bonds still from out of county, other counties, and from what I can tell, no bond holds from another county.
All righty. Counsel for the defense, you have anything you want to say?
Oh, and he's scheduled for arraignment next Tuesday.
Okay.
No, Judge. That's fine. We'll keep the bonds in place.
All righty. In reference to count 1, it's $7,500. In reference to count 3, it's $2,500. Freddie Rice.
North Broward.
Mr. Rice, good morning. Mr. Rice, it looks like you have 2 warrants out for your arrest, burglary of an unoccupied conveyance, counts 1 and 2. I find probable cause. Counsel for the state in reference to bond.
These are also change of charges, and Your Honor, so the court's aware, Judge Malika found probable cause for attempt on both of these counts originally.
Okay.
Set the bonds at $1,500 and $500 plus pretrial release. Just requesting that all the same bonds and conditions be placed back.
That'll be granted. $1,500 on count 1, $500 count 2. Whatever conditions Judge Malika set are going to stay in place.
Ready, we'll get you in front of your division judge as soon as we can, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
And no contact.
And that was one of the
Okay. James Rubino.
Judge, he wants to recall his case if that's possible.
Who?
When you have a chance. Mr.
Janity Papismadal.
Okay, hang on.
He's not clear about the degrees and how the change of charges.
All right, let me get him back here. All righty. Counsel for the state.
Yes.
I would.
Thank you. Essentially, they are both burglary, structure, burglary, conveyance. My understanding, they're both third-degree felonies at this point. There's no enhancements attached to them, from what I can tell.
All righty.
Yes.
All righty, sir.
Ma'am. Yeah, you said they're both third-degree felonies?
Yes.
Okay,
I didn't say that. The state said it.
I'm sorry, yes, ma'am, but my bond remained the same? Because I had a $7,500 bond and a $2,500 bond.
Yeah, the bonds are the same. I think maybe what's holding you is a no bond out of another county is what it sounds like to me.
And about, I think, $60,000.
The thing is that they were first-degree and second-degree felonies.
Okay, but they're not anymore on these.
I guess what he's asking, Judge, is can you cut him down lower so that he can maybe get to, be able to bond out and transport to the other county to hold those?
Your Honor, if you'd like, I could print out the original probable cause affidavit. I think it was clear on its face that they weren't across county lines, and that. But I'll check real quick.
I mean, at this point in time, it's going to stay in place. James Timothy Rubino.
Conti.
Mr. Rubino, good morning. Sir, you've been charged with fleeing with disregard to the safety of persons or property and driving while your license is suspended, a third or subsequent offense. I find that there's probable cause. Counsel for the state, recommendation on bond.
Your Honor, bond was originally set at, bond was originally set at $5,000. I'm going to be requesting that bond be kept in place. He is scheduled to see Judge Duffy Monday for arraignment.
All right. In reference, this is counts 2 and 4, and there's also a no bond hold. So in reference to count 2, bond will be set in the amount of $5,000. In reference to count 4, bond is in the amount of $750. You're going to be in front of Judge Duffy on Monday. Johnny Solomon.
North Broward.
Good morning, sir. Sir, you've been charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. I find there's probable cause. Counsel for the state, recommendation on bond.
Your Honor, I'm just checking to see what the original findings were.
Okay.
Once he's done, may I have permission to
Hang on one sec. Hang on one sec, okay? Hang on one sec.
Your Honor, appears as this was a lateral change of charge from bodily harm to deadly weapon. Bond was originally set at $8,500, and Mr. Solomon's public defender has already filed a motion to reduce bond in front of Judge Calver, so I'm just going to request the bond be placed back.
Okay, so the bond is set in the amount of $8,500, but you have a bond hearing in front of Judge Calver coming up, okay?
For what, ma'am?
To reduce your bond in front of Judge Calver.
I just wanted to know, how was my charges changed from, what they were to deadly weapon? Because I didn't.
I don't think you should say anything.
No, and just so Mr. Solomon's aware, He's scheduled for arraignment and the bond hearing Monday morning.
All right, you're going to be in front of Judge Calver Monday morning.
Monday morning?
Yep.
Yeah, to address your bond. Okay, good luck, Johnny.
All right.
Levon Brown.
Conti, Your Honor?
Say again?
He was removed off the docket. He was already magistrated.
Correct.
All right, he was already magistrated, so I'm just going to delete it.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, sir. All right, so I have Randolph Patterson. Where's Mr. Patterson? Mr. Patterson, good morning. All right, so counsel for the defense, I need your help. It's an MO, and I don't know what city it is, but Mr. McLaurin said it wasn't him. And I would be more than willing to resolve them, but I don't know if you want me to do that without him having a lawyer.
I cannot advise Mr. Patterson in any manner, judges. It's a municipal.
Can I talk to him?
That's strictly up to you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Patterson, we can wait for the city attorney to come and help you out. Or if you just want to take care of all these, I'll take care of them and give you time served.
I'm ready to resolve it, man. Let's do time served.
All right, raise your right hand. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Put your hand down and please tell me your name.
Randolph Lane Patterson III.
All right, it's my understanding, sir, you want to change your plea from not guilty to no contest in reference to all four of these cases. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do that?
No, ma'am.
Anybody promise you anything to get you to do that?
No, ma'am.
Sir, are you under the influence of any alcohol or drugs so you don't understand what's going on here today?
No, ma'am.
Understand if you're not a citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation.
Yes, ma'am.
I find that it's a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver. Factual basis based on all notices to appear. At this point in time, in reference to all cases, adjudication is going to be withheld. Court costs in the amount of $100 on each case is going to be imposed. I'm going to give you it a year to pay on all of them. You can't go back to that property. You hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Have a good day.
All right.
Michael Hinch.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hinch, again, your lawyer's not here. I can have it reset to get your lawyer here, or if you just want to resolve this, I'll give you time served.
I'd like to resolve it, ma'am.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Put your hand down, tell me your name.
Michael Allen Hinch.
Mr. Hinch, it's my understanding you want to change your plea from not guilty to no contest. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do that, sir?
No, ma'am.
Anybody promise you anything to get you to do that?
No, ma'am.
Sir, are you under the influence of any alcohol or drugs so you don't understand what's going on here today?
No, Your Honor.
Understand if you're not a citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation.
I do.
I find that it's a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver. Factual basis based on the notice to appear and the probable cause affidavit. At this point in time, adjudication will be withheld. Cost in the amount of $100 will be imposed. I'm going to give you a year to pay. Sir, good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. I think we're done.
Judge, what time is the return date for the docket? It's time.
What time, folks? Wait a minute, I'm going to tell you in a sec. What time? 1:30? Tell me. No, you tell me what you want. Everybody tell me what you want. That's what we'll do. 1? 1 o'clock? Is that okay with you?
I'm not going to be here at 1. I think Romero is coming back.
You tell Hector I'll see him at 1.
Okay.
Thank you.